Kids Playground!
Hooray!
This is the Deron Harris Podcast. Here's your host, Deron Harris.
Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Deron Harris. This is the Deron Harris Podcast. Today I'm talking about the historical fuck-up that the Supreme Court just made, which is a super heavy blow for democracy in our country. It exposes the rigging of the American justice system, and it takes away a lot of hope for the future of democracy in the United States. But first, I want to say we just went through Men's Mental Health Month. We just finished it out. June was Men's Mental Health Month, and it was also Pride Month, which is fine. I don't have anything to say about that, but it was Men's Mental Health Month, and I want men, and especially black men, men in general, but especially black men, I want you guys from now until next Men's Mental Health Month to try and give your mental state some thought. How are you doing mentally? Ask yourself every day, how am I feeling? I do that every day. When I wake up in the morning, I guess I doom scroll for a couple of minutes, but then I get up, I take my medicine, and then I ask myself, how am I today? And I'm not always doing well. And it's all right to not always be doing well. But I'm able to acknowledge the fact that I'm not doing well and then try and take corrective action, try and remove that. Or I talk to my therapist or whatever it is I need to do to remove myself out of that situation. I go for a walk. I talk to my wife. I podcast. Whatever I need to do. And I'm encouraging all men, even if you think you suffer or not, even if you believe that you suffer or not, to go and take an assessment. Go and sit down and take an assessment. It really is worth it. You can find out so many things in your life click when you know. And a lot of things were bad for me in my life previously. I mean, they're not the greatest. I mean, I'm doing a lot better than I was before, but when I didn't know my diagnosis, when I didn't know anything about what I was going through, my life, I feel, was a lot worse. But now that I have some sort of insight on my condition, it's easier. Things are easier. I mean, I still go through things, but things are easier to go through. It's not great, but I can manage. I can get by a little bit better, which is encouraging for me. So, all right, fellas. So until next Men's Mental Health Month, make every month Mental Health Month for you, man. Every single month for me is men's mental health, and every single month for me is black men's mental health. I'm that guy. I'm all about my mental health, and you should be too. All right? So now I'm going to talk about what just happened and how, I guess how I interpret it, what this may mean for the future of America and what's going on in our country currently. And it just looks like it's not slowing down and it's not going away. And it's starting to feel like, that dark cloud pulling over the sky. And it's settling in. And it's ominous. And it's scary. I mean, for a lot of people, it's not going to be scary. A lot of people, they're not going to be affected by it either way. For a lot of people, non-melanated people, it's just going to be if you don't agree with it, it's going to be an inconvenience for them at max. It's going to be it's an inconvenience, but the fact that they're not melanated is going to play a huge factor from now on. It's going to be an inconvenience for them, but for somebody like me and people who look like me or my wife or our children, things are going to be very different for them going forward. And that's because of the Project 2025 that's coming about. That's because the Democratic our president, is incoherent and almost incapable of even having a conversation, let alone governing, which bless his soul. But thirdly, because there's going to be nobody that's going to be able to beat this man, okay? Because it's this simple. This man has been campaigning for years now. Nobody's going to come in here and campaign for a few months and be the president. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Either you go with Joe Biden and hope for the best, or we're fucked. Which, either way, it's looking like we're fucked. How did we get here, America? We put ourselves here. And they helped us along. But we put ourselves here by being blind and turning the other cheek. And when we knew that things were going awry, not calling it out or not speaking up or not showing up to the polls and voting, we put ourselves here. And they secretly and quietly put all their ducks in a row for what they needed to execute while we trusted that everything was going to be okay. Everything was going to be business as usual. And they were hush-hush about it. And until now. Until they had a strong enough candidate to put this in place. So now, the Supreme Court has just made a dictator. They've just created a dictator. And if we have a dictator, that is effectively the end of democracy. And I don't know, man. I don't know. Is that what America really wants? A dictator? Is that what these people really want? I don't really think so, because a lot of these people don't like to be told what to do anyway. A lot of these people, especially the ones down here that I know, I do every goddamn thing that I want to, and these motherfuckers ain't gonna tell me shit about what I do. Ain't nobody gonna tell me nothing about what I do. I'll pull a bullet right between their eyes. Well, how you gonna deal with a dictator, motherfucker, telling you exactly what to do all the damn time about everything? And the thing about it is it really is, man. It really is brainwashing. I mean, and I don't want to sound like one of the bandwagoners or anything like that, but it really is. It's just fucking, I mean, come on, man. How could you sit there and believe that this motherfucker has anything in common with us? He doesn't. He has an agenda, and his agenda is to preserve something. And it doesn't necessarily involve us. It just involves our votes. That's it. It involves our votes. It involves our votes, enough of our votes to get him to where he needs to be. And then just like, a chick that you banging that you don't really like, you drop that bitch like a hot rock. You motherfuckers are the hot rock. Okay? Just so you know, you motherfuckers are the hot rock. He's about to fuck the shit out of everybody. And then he's going to drop you motherfuckers. Because it doesn't matter. Because when all the bombs and shit start falling and people start dying in the streets, he's going to be someplace in a bunker someplace with his family away from his base. He's not going to come down here and get here in the streets with y'all. He's not going to kumbaya with you motherfuckers. And then we have, motherfuckers in barbershops and, different hair salons. This motherfucker, they get chicken spots, just Uncle Tomming it up for this motherfucker. And just like some black people to perpetually vote against our interests, or either not pay attention to the sign of the times, or the ones that do have it to just hoard it and not help anyone else. Oh, I did a little bit. I opened a little school here and there. Well, we need 40 of them, okay? We need 40 schools in these neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? I gave a little bit. I built the Barclays Center. I did this. I built this foundation. Yeah, well, it ain't enough. It's not enough. Okay? And I'm going to directly say it to you. It ain't enough. And I can't believe that motherfuckers are not vocal. And that's how you can tell that a lot of these people are bought and paid for. Because Project 2025 is popping off and motherfuckers worried about album sales. Motherfuckers worried about, but you don't hear anything from the people who are our so-called leaders, our icons. Very few have become vocal about this. Very few of them. I haven't heard Jay-Z at all. You know what I'm saying? I haven't heard Rick Ross. I ain't heard nobody. I ain't heard none of this shit, man. It's like this shit isn't even happening in this country. It's like two cultures that's going on. The real culture and this fantasy bullshit that music and acting in Hollywood have put before us. That is the distraction. And, I'm guilty. I'm a comedian. I want to, I want to entertain people, but I also want to educate and tell people real shit, man. I really want to let people know that some shit is afoot. There's some shit happening. And we're not paying attention to it. A few of us are, but we're not paying attention to it. Like I said, we're too worried about something else. People are like, I don't give a fuck about the Supreme Court and what they just did. Well, you fucking should. You really should. You should care about that. The reason why is because now this man, as long as it is government business, like official government business, this man can assassinate his political rivals and get away with it. He didn't even have to hide it. As long as it is sanctioned by the government, it's crazy. The craziest shit is this. Felon. The word felon. The word felon has had a negative connotation for so long, so many years, and it fit right around the necks of all the minorities, especially the black minority. Right around our neck, felon. Labeled, felon. Taken out of the circulation, felon. Can't vote, felon. Can't hold a firearm, felon. Can't get a job in certain industries. But here we are. We have a man that's guilty of 34 felonies and quite possibly guilty of many more treasonous acts against the country, many more. Here we are with a man that by law cannot own a firearm, but now is able to command the largest and most powerful army on the face of the earth. Make that shit make sense, America. Make it make sense, but you can't, because it don't. Because that's right there, and that's how you know that the whole shit is rigged. It's not for us. It's not for us. It's not for the people. These people draft and create laws while we walk around in the minutia thinking that we have these important-ass lives. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, some sort of legislation has come down the pipeline and we're powerless to stop it. But they've been talking about it. They make all these laws. This motherfucker down here in Florida is a prime example of that shit. This motherfucker signed so much shit behind closed doors, it's not even funny. Governor Cocksucker has just filed another law, signed another law, another piece of legislation into law in a closed session. I tell you, man, they need to wear body cams. I think all politicians should wear a body cam so we can see the exact moment when they decide to fuck us. I think all of their phone conversations need to be public record. Everything you motherfuckers are talking about that involve the American people and the safety of our country, because you don't really have it. And you fucking lie. Oh, America's so important to us and the safety and the sanctity of America. Shut the fuck up. We are not important to you. And now you've made it illegal to be homeless. Now, look at what's going on around us, folks. I'm listening on the news the other day. Jacksonville, Florida. Oh, man, we got to build a new prison. We got to have a new prison. New prison. We got to have this new prison because you know why you need a new prison? Because they just made homelessness illegal. Okay? They just made homelessness illegal. I've been homeless. Circumstances happen to people that people cannot control. Why should they be penalized for that? People have mental health issues. There's all kinds of shit out there happening. But now it's fucking illegal to be homeless? Who the fuck did we elect? Who did we put into office, folks? Okay, so it's illegal to be homeless, right? So, illegal to be homeless. Jacksonville needs a new prison, but Jacksonville isn't the only place that needs a new prison or is building new prisons. There's new facilities going up all over the place. And that is a sign of the times, folks. Some shit is about to happen. Some shit is happening. They're going to start rounding up these homeless people. They're going to start rounding up immigrants. They're going to start rounding up, watch what I'm telling you. You're going to start rounding up fucking everybody. And that's their solution to it, is to jail or incarcerate everyone. Everyone who does not agree with what they go to jail, incarcerate, or exterminate anything or anyone that opposes their agenda. That's where we are headed, folks. Like it or not. Like it or fucking not. If we don't say something, if we don't do something, where the fuck do you think we're going to be in 5 years? Where the fuck do you where do you think we're going to be in 2 years? Because a lot of these things go in effect day one. Day one, ready to hit the ground running, they said. We're ready to hit the ground running with Project 2025. Man. Sad day for America. Overturning of Roe vs. Wade. All kinds of shit has, the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is responsible for so much of the bullshit that's going on in this country right now. It really is. It really, really is. And, I don't know how Clarence Thomas can look at himself in the fucking face. I really don't. That's the unklest of Toms right there. That's Uncle Tom to the fucking 100th power. That motherfucker is an uncle-ass Tom, and I wish I could tell him in his face. I wish I could tell your fucking ass, Clarence Thomas, that you are an Uncle Tom, and the rest of you other motherfuckers, Tim Scott and the rest of you motherfuckers is baby Uncle Toms. Steady trying to get us to vote against our interests so that you motherfuckers have a place at the table when they assert their dominance over everything. So hopefully I'll be safe. Me and my constituents will be all right because I'm in with the cool crowd. I'm in with I'm in with this shut. You're what's wrong with America. I hope you know that. I hope you know that. And I hope you know they don't like you either. They don't like you either. You fucking Sambos, all of you. Candace Owens, all of you. Bunch of fucking Sambos. Soft shoeing for the man. I'm going to take a break. When I come back, we're going to continue to talk about this fucking just unbelievable bullshit that's going on in America. I'm Darren. I'll be right back. This episode of the Darren Harris Podcast is being brought to you by BetterHelp. Men's Mental Health Month might be over, but you don't need a special month to prioritize your mental health, okay, fellas? In fact, any time is a good time to do something positive and beneficial for your mental health. But I'm not just talking about men. I'm talking about women and children also. Trust me, with today's political and social climate and all the uncertainty that surrounds it, there's a lot of reasons why you should be concerned with your mental state. But as a society of busy people, I know that many of us don't even consider our mental health at all because we're too busy achieving. We're also busy fighting this war with everyday life that we're losing, and we don't even realize it. We've become desensitized, disconnected, and we neglect ourselves, especially our mental well-being. We've put our mental health on our to-do lists, but somehow we never get to it. Listen, we all have issues. If you live in America, then you have issues. It's just the facts, and there's no getting around that. Depression and anxiety and a host of other mental illnesses are affecting Americans at an alarming rate. Did you know, according to the 2024 World Happiness Report, the United States has fallen out of the top 20 happiest countries in the world for the first time in 12 years since the beginning when they started taking the poll, and it's expected to get worse. With things the way they are, we sure could use some better help. Fortunately for us, there's BetterHelp.com. BetterHelp, that's BetterHelp.com, is a website dedicated to helping people find the benefits of therapy on their terms. They make it easy to get involved, and they're serious about helping people with all sorts of mental health issues, illnesses, and disorders. So don't put it off any longer. Log on today and get it off your chest. Stop comparing and start focusing with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp, HELP.com/Darren today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Darren, DERON. Do it like your mental health depends on it.
Now, back to the Darren Harris Podcast.
Hey, folks, what's up? Welcome back to the show. Talking about this bullshit with the Supreme Court today on the podcast. Yo, I was just thinking, I was in the kitchen getting a drink of water, and I was, wait till something happens, okay? Wait till something happens. I just want to say to all the people out there, all these people out here that voted, that are in favor of Project 2025, and they will do everything. They're going to vote accordingly. Wait until something happens that affects your family personally. Something that affects your family happens that you're like, oh, well, shit, goddamn, well, why is that affecting us? You wait. You wait till something happens that you didn't realize that you voted for because you didn't understand completely, because you were so blind by the fact that you just want this one kind of conservative America. Because that's what they do, right? They sign all kinds of underhanded bullshit in there. You don't just vote for this. Vote for this. No, it's not just vote for this. It's vote for this with all these little other things that are on that shit as well. A lot of that shit affects us directly. A lot of it. But just wait. It's not going to be as great as you think it's going to be. I'm fucking baffled by the Supreme Court. And I'm baffled by the farce that has become our political establishment on every single level. We have the governor of Florida allowing a felon, just one felon, to vote come November. Which I'm sure the rest of them will let him vote also, because they're in his party. They're in his, which is, they're voting along. They don't. So you see, folks, they don't vote with their morals. Okay, that's the problem. That's the problem. None of them, either side, they don't vote with their morals. Okay, they vote with agendas in mind, and what those agendas are all these special interest groups that have these lobbyists come out to sign these laws or get these laws in front of these people to pass this, that Project 2025. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And it's just here for us. It is, well, not for us. It's here for them. It's here for them, or it's going to be put into or implemented day one for them to now say that we control what the future of the United States for quite possibly the next 100 years. We are reverting. And I don't think everybody realizes that. We are reverting. Now, what I'm hoping happens, which I know it's not going to happen because I forgot her name. I think she's like some sort of congresswoman or something, some Latina congresswoman out there with guns and talking bullshit about immigrants. That bitch is ridiculous too. We got people like that, and which that hurts that really does hurt us. That hurts us. That hurts us. People look at conservative views, these conservative, because they align with that, because they've been trained to align with that. This is the norm. It's supposed to be like that. We're supposed to be in charge. You're not. You're not. It's the best suited person for the job. But too many times, the best suited person for the job is, a lot of times turned away. A lot of times. I don't know how many jobs I've lost being the best candidate. I've had jobs that, we chose to go with somebody else, and then a couple of weeks later they called me back because that's somebody else. Man, you go eat a dick, dude. Go and eat a dick. It just doesn't make any sense, folks. I'm off on some sort of bullshit ass tangent right now, but there's just so many pieces to it. It's just so many layers to how this could potentially and really probably will affect everything in our future. And like I said, there's a lot of people who it's just going to be an inconvenience for. But there's a lot of people that are going to be rounded up like cattle. They can deploy the military on its own, now, on our own citizens. We got to have curfews and lockdowns and Gestapo and tanks that ride through the streets. They're going to start hunting people. We got a real future, real fucked up future in front of us. I look at it like this. Either way, we got a fucked up future in front of us. Because I think this is what it is. If Trump doesn't win the election, I think we are going to be attacked from overseas. And I feel that. But if he does win the election, we're going to be attacked domestically. And either way, there is about to be a huge, and I said it last podcast, a few podcasts ago, I think I say it every podcast now, there's about to be a huge reckoning in the United States. It's like sitting there with a stick of dynamite and you're just watching the wick and you got your fingers in your ears and you're just waiting for it. And eventually it's going to get here. Boom. And then what do? Day one. Because it's going to be fucking madness. It is. As soon as they certify this person, it's going to be madness. And I don't think protesting is going to do anything because now he'll be at will to disperse your protests and use lethal force if necessary. It'll be soon where we can't say what we want to say. No more freedom of speech, folks. That's coming. We look in these history books and we're like, wow, man, it must have been crazy to live back in 1947, when all of this shit was going on in the world, and wow, it must have been crazy to live in these times. We're headed right on back to these times, but in modern times. We're headed right on back to war. And speaking of war, what have they done? They've reinstated the draft. They can now take our sons and daughters and force them to fight for a military that does not, or fight for a country or a man that does not care for them. You have to fight for me, even if you don't like me. How did this happen, folks? How did we get here? By people shouldering up and voting in that direction. By people also being brainwashed into voting in that direction. There's a lot of shit, a lot of factors. Religion plays a lot into it. These self-righteous, cocksucking ass assholes sitting up here in the name of Jesus doing just a bunch of bullshit in the name of Jesus. And you'd think Jesus would do some shit about it. I know I would if some motherfuckers was there. Hey, no, that's not what God would do. God would do. How the fuck do you know? Are you God? No, motherfucker. So you don't know. The only explanation is there ain't one, or he don't care, or there's lots of other explanations, but those are the top two. You're making it up. You are making this shit up as you go to benefit you. No more freedom of religion, folks. Yeah, you can worship. You can worship a little bit. No more special shit for nobody who's not Christian. I'm telling you, folks, it's going to be that. If you're not white and Christian, it's going to be a fucking problem with you. As simple as that. It's going to turn into that. Slowly but surely, over time, all of the things that are going to be set in place, all of the things that they've already taken away to set that up. They're getting rid of all kinds of DEI initiatives. Tractor Supply even got rid of their DEI initiative that they were going to do to align, so that they can align with this ideology. It is a sinister ass plan. And there's going to be a cleanse here. There's going to be a mass deportation, and it's going to be legal. And they're going to be able to use deadly force while they do it. Say hello and welcome back, the knee on the neck, because law enforcement also, local law enforcement, will now answer to the office of the president under Project 2025. Local law enforcement governed by the president. They report to the president. That's scary. I'm sorry for sitting here on some blank out for a second, but that, to me, is scary. Because the reason that's scary is because he's talking about giving them the same immunity that he just received for the crimes that they commit. He has just proven to America that you can commit crimes, and as long as you're rich and white, you can get away with it. And you can get the Supreme Court to help you. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. Those 6 justices ought to be ashamed of themselves for what they have done to America, for what they have helped this party do to America. And yeah, I'm talking about Republicans, man. I'm just going to say it. Y'all ain't shit, bro. Really, y'all sit up and y'all pretend like y'all the most righteous shit going on in the world, but look at the shit y'all do, man. Look at the shit y'all do. You do all of that shit, and then you do it in the name. You try to say that it's not racially motivated, but everything you fucking do is racially motivated. And then you sweep it under the rug, and when somebody calls you out on it, oh, you're woke. Oh, stop woke. Shut the fuck up, okay? Shut the fuck up. Somebody needs to come along and tell you what it is. And this is, I'm going to tell you what it is, okay? This is going to be the person. This is going to be the person that beats this guy, Donald Trump, okay? This is going to be the candidate that beats this man, because it's obvious how he became president. He was rich. He's crass. His attitude is unforgiving. He says what's on his mind. He's a good marketer. And he represents the ideology and the feeling of a lot of these people, these macho, hyper-masculine, self-fucking important douchebags that walk around in all this fucking American flag gear, and I went to man's boot camp and all that fucking dumb shit too. Alpha male boot camp. Suck my ass, motherfucker. That shit is funny. But it's because you vote Republican. And then you want to sit up and smile in my face. And that's what I'm saying, man. I always think that too, man. I always think that. I have friends that are Republicans. I have friends that are Republicans. I have friends that have always voted. But I think about it now, and I keep thinking about it, and I keep thinking about it. How good of friends are we if you can vote for these things to happen to me and people like me? How good of friends are we? How close are we? I'm not understanding that. I'm not understanding that. I'm going to take another break, but I want to keep talking about this. I'm going to take a break because at 11 o'clock, I have therapy, and it's 10:48 right now, so I'm going to take a break. I'll be right back. Yo, what's good, folks? Check it out. Men's Mental Health Month might be over, but you don't need a special month to prioritize your mental health, okay, fellas? In fact, any time is a good time to do something positive and beneficial for your mental health. But I'm not just talking about men. I'm talking about women and children also. Trust me, with today's political and social climate and all the uncertainty that surrounds it, there's reasons why you should be concerned with your mental state. But as a society of busy people, I know that most of us generally don't consider our mental health, all because we're out achieving. We're too busy achieving. We're also busy fighting this war with life every day that we're losing, and we don't even realize it. We've become desensitized, we've become disconnected, we've become neglectful of ourselves, and especially our mental well-being. We have to put our mental health on our to-do list, but a lot of us have put our mental health on that to-do list, but we never get around to it. Listen, we all have issues. If you live in America, then you have issues. It's just the facts. There is no getting around it. Depression and anxiety and a host of other mental illnesses are affecting Americans at an alarming rate. And did you know that according to the 2024 World Happiness Report, the United States has fallen out of the top 20 happiest countries in the world for the first time in 12 years, and it is expected to get worse. With things the way they are, we sure could use some better help. Fortunately for us, there's BetterHelp.com. That's BetterHelp.com. That's a website that's dedicated to helping people find the benefits of therapy on their terms. They make it extremely easy to get involved, and they're serious about helping people with all sorts of mental issues, illnesses, and disorders. So don't put it off any longer. Get it off your chest. Stop comparing and start focusing with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/Deron today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Deron, DERON. You'll be glad that you did. Hey folks, what's up? Welcome back to the show. Today I'm talking about the landmark decision that the Supreme Court made. Well, really, it was fucking Chief Justice John Roberts and Clarence Thomas and his fucking cocksucking ass. That's who did it. That's who fucked America. That's who fucked democracy. John Roberts. Chief Justice John Roberts, bruh. You fucked us. You fucked us. You said the president may not be prosecuted for exercising his core constitutional powers. You also said some other bullshit like, oh, this would open up a can of worms for prosecuting or former presidents. Well, maybe these motherfuckers shouldn't have been the presidents in the first place. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't get it. Motherfuckers get to commit whatever they get to do what they want. They get to do what they want, and they get a court to fucking say, no, I can't do that. What if I had a couple of $1 billion? I still wouldn't be able to do it. You know why? Because Diddy can't do it. I mean, holy shit. I mean, how far stuffed up someone's ass do you have to be in order to sell out democracy? I mean, holy shit. So this motherfucker could take a bribe if he wants to. And as long as it's, official government business, it's all right. It's ridiculous, the power that they have given this person. It is ridiculous, the power that they are ready to give this person. But they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck because they think that it's going to bring about what they want to happen in America, which is a conservative America. What's going to happen is we are going to plummet. We're going to plummet. We're going to get attacked. We're going to plummet our society. We're going to start infighting because the classes are going to start fighting because the rich are just going to get richer and the poor are just going to get poor. And you can't be homeless because then we'll put you in jail. They all need to go. They all need to go. And I don't think that the Supreme Court justices should be elected by a president. I really don't think so. I don't think Supreme Court justices should be elected by a president or appointed to office by a president. I don't give a fuck about that. I don't give a fuck. They need term limits also. But those days are over. The Supreme Court is going to be, for now, for the foreseeable future, majority conservative. That's what we got going on here. That's what the fuck we got going on here. And I'm afraid for America, folks. And I just got back from talking with my therapist about this very thing. And of course, she tells me, you can't control these type things, but people are going to see exactly how close to home this shit hits here in just a minute. All the trials that were supposed to come about have been delayed. Or this motherfucker just gets off. He's the only person with 34 felonies that I know is walking around on the streets free. The only one. The only person that I know with 34 felonies walking around the streets free. And it's largely because we have a court system or a judicial system that is corrupt, that is flawed, and that needs to be dismantled and rebuilt. The justice system in the United States needs to be rebuilt. It really does, because it is obviously broken. That's going to do it for this week's episode, folks. God help us all. I want to thank my mother and my father, and I love them with all my heart. And I just hope that, whatever does happen, at least my parents, our parents, they get to ride it out with some dignity. You know what I'm saying? I want to thank my wife for being here to encourage me and also to calm down my anxiety, because I'm full of it, as you can tell. I'm afraid, folks. I'm afraid. I am afraid of what's going to happen here in America. Listen, y'all, if you care, if you're listening to my voice, if you made it here, vote, man. That's all I can really say. I mean, I hope that it works. I hope that it does. I hope that it does. I hope our votes count. I hope they don't find a way to suppress them like they're already planning. And you know that they are, but we have to be diligent. Stand in those lines. Rain, sleet, snow, heat. We have to vote, y'all. We have to vote. We cannot let this happen. There's going to be nobody that they're going to get to be able to replace this guy for president in time. Nobody. I don't think Gavin Newsom is ready. Kamala Harris definitely isn't ready. They're talking about the governor of Pennsylvania, but he's relatively unknown. You're just not going to run on no name recognition. You're just not going to. There needs to be somebody with the same wit as he has. They're not going to beat him. Democrats aren't going to beat him conventionally. They're not going to beat him conventionally. They have to beat him like he beat everybody. Like they have to use unorthodox methods in order to at least make a dent. Otherwise, it's Project 2025 for everybody. I want to thank everybody for listening, man. Thank you for listening to my show, folks. I'm really down about it, because it just seems, as of late, one week after the next, we're just losing special protections. We're losing laws that have been put in place for years that have helped countless peoples. Gone. Well, join me next week, folks. I'm going to sit here and ponder this a little bit more. I'm probably going to talk about more of this because it just keeps happening. We just keep losing to these people because we're too busy with our gaze someplace else. We need to stop worrying about what Kendrick and Drake going through. We can worry about that after this, okay? We can worry about Kendrick and Drake after we take care of this, everybody, all right? So, until next week, y'all have a good week. Hopefully you maintain your mental health. And fellas, like I said, man, you got a homework assignment. Go out there and do something good for your mental health, something positive. Something positive. The world needs it right now. I'm Deron Harris. This is my podcast. Y'all have a good one. Peace.
You've been listening to the Deron Harris Podcast. Subscribe to the show, give a good rating, and everything you need to know is at DeronHarris.com.